Seeing a fresh day is truly a blessing. From wherever you are watching us, we're saying welcome to today's live on ECWA TV Africa. And today I have my beautiful sister, my colleague, Joyce Yakwari.
Morning, Sambo.
Yeah, we've been doing this for throughout this week, and we trust God that God will see us through. And then whatever we're discussing here, people will see reasons to follow us because it's educating, it's informative, and then it is where
like creating awareness
where you can follow, and then we try our possible best as we relate with people out there, and then we see areas that are truly of a concern to the masses, and then we break it down in our own way based on what we have gathered, and then we discuss and then advise in our own way, and then what people are saying out there they think it should be done, and then we air their view because we are watchdog of the society.
Very true.
And then based on how people have been following our community, the TLC, yes,
that's today's life community.
Yes, we are so much grateful because you follow us back to back, and then you drop your comment how you feel, and then you advise, and you air your own view too. To add to what we are doing here. We are truly grateful, and we pray that you keep it up. And to our viewers that are following us back to back, you are the reason why we are here. That is why we can't go down. We keep going and then keep giving you what we gather.
Yes.
Joyce, this morning we are looking at insecurity. Insecurity, like earlier we talked about education as a bedrock.
Yes.
Bedrock, because education is what gives you the whole idea of everything that is happening, whether in economy, in agriculture, school itself, science, name them. Technology, name them. And then, yes, your education system may be working, but once the security architecture has a problem already, you will not see the impact of education now playing, and it is a thing of a worry, because without security, you can't see even the business thriving.
True.
You can't see the business thriving, even the school, and we try to see this time around Nigeria as a nation, part of Africa and part of the globe, are faced with different kind of insecurity challenges. And then our own in Nigeria is the issue of kidnapping, banditry, cattle rustling, Fulani herdsmen.
Just tag them on that terrorism.
Yes, and the government is unknown gunmen. Yes, that's the name. I'm even struggling.
This new word, invaders, not new word, like new term, put together to address another group again, which you call them home invaders.
Invaders. And Joyce, as a country, 21st century, and then Nigeria is a giant of Africa. That is how it has been. It has been. But should we say we have taken our place in the community of nations when it comes to the issue of security?
I don't think we have, and I don't think we are close there. Sambo, back then, you agree with me how things used to be in Nigeria, even as a young child growing up in the country as such, Nigeria, the country of birth, the country of our citizenship, and our beloved country. As a child, you can easily leave home, tell your father or your mother that you'll be going to your neighbor's house, and they'll be okay without even saying anything. They already know that, okay, you'll be in the neighbor's house and you'll be safe without being armed and any other thing at the end of the day. But right now we are scared even going to the neighbor's house is scary because you don't know what will happen at the end of the day. Just like I said, we have the home invaders now. We have the unknown gunmen. Even before you even leave your house, you have to go through a process of, okay, telling your family, this is where you are visiting. These are the people that will be there. This is the location. This is the person's phone number. Maybe you even add email address. It's so funny, but it's true. These are the things required. And at the end of the day, you might be kidnapped without any trace. And you'll be wondering what is really happening. If we have all these things available, if we have the, what is it called, the address, the phone number, the location, you know, now right now on our phones we are being encouraged to turn on our locations at any time, so that anywhere we go to, you will be able to, they will be able to track your location where you were at the last time. It's just of the case of a lady in Benue State that was killed just months back. A petite entrepreneur, she's an entrepreneur, she sells things, I think wears clothing and all. Someone contacted her for some goods and it was available, and it was asked of her to deliver to some address, which she did, and at the end of the day she went missing. Then before you know, it was her corpse that was found. I'd be wondering what really happened. Where is the investigation right now? Where have we stopped? Did we just conclude that, okay, she was killed, now there is a corpse, it's being given to the family, and that is it? No, it should be followed thoroughly. It should be. It's a business that she was into. Definitely she has contact on her phone. And there is the last call she made. You know, there are subsequent other calls. And technically, we have the service provider which records most of these calls, right?
Yes.
And we have maybe the chat between her and someone. It mustn't be the person, maybe the customer that killed her. It mustn't be that. Maybe on her way there, or maybe after delivery, coming back. Maybe they text that she boarded. Just something. Why don't we have answers to things like that? And we are saying Nigeria is a developing country. We have a digital economy. We have security apparatus. We have so many of these agencies, you know, put together to protect lives and properties. But the normal common man on the streets cannot even, your life is not guaranteed. That, okay, you don't even have faith that when you go missing, you know, and you are being frightened wherever you are, you have the faith that, no, at the end of the day, I will be secure, I will be safe. People will come for me. My family will raise alarm. Or the authorities, you know, we know one way or the other I'm missing. Or even my service provider, which I pay a lot of money to, because that is more like you transacting business with them. You know, they will be able to know that something is missing because they record all these conversations. What is really happening? So I don't think we're headed there.
No. Well, sometimes back, the issue of kidnapping, you know, was so rampant when it comes to the northwest, or you call Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Niger, and even Kaduna, and then to a point that the entire northwest, most of the state, not all, because Kano is not really part of it, because Kano, I don't know how Kano really managed to escape that, you know, even though when issue of Boko Haram was on a top gear, Kano was hit, you know, when it comes to that geographical location, it was Kano that was really hit bad. So I believe maybe they have some strategy to really deal with that. I'm just saying.
Or maybe we don't hear of it.
Or maybe we don't hear, you are right, or maybe we don't hear of it. And then that's, the governors have to come out and make some categorical statement, which the entire Nigerians, most Nigerians rather, applaud them for coming out to really speak out. Because I remember Masari was saying he regretted even giving the bandit an amnesty. He said that. He said he would have acted differently then. He really spoke, and then he moved ahead to ban certain things in the state. That is when we hear the issue of no weekly market. You can't buy petroleum. You can't buy petrol in jerrycan more than 5 liters. And then motor parks were illegal motor parks because in the north we are used to any small junction you just see a small park will just spring up because people find it difficult to really go to the main park and then board. And we noticed that even the bandits are even using that because they drop a car and then you come innocently, you board, and then they take you somewhere else. And then governors of Zamfara, Sokoto, you know, keying into that to see that they really tackle that menace. And then the issue of telecom, which you talked about, you know, you have a deal with them. Me having a SIM card, I load, you take money, and then something is happening.
Providing services.
You are providing services.
And I'm consuming that. I am, you know, I am a customer to your service. I am, what is it called? Is like, yes, I'm just a customer. I can't remember the word, but I'm a customer to your service. I'm a consumer. I should be protected to some certain level. If you say, okay, all calls are recorded, because it's normal, you know, a service provider will tell you all calls are recorded, your messages are encrypted, this and that, so many of these things. And at the end of the day, if I go missing and maybe I'm all put out there, missing person or family will raise alarm and all, you as a service provider can't even come up to say, okay, this is the tracking and whatever, this is the last point of call, this is what happened. Or even the authorities, maybe they can't just bring it out. Maybe if the authority go to them, okay, provide the chat record or the call records of this person. But at the end of the day, we don't hear things like that to the tail end. We don't hear a follow-up, just like I mentioned of the example of the lady that was killed in Benue State. Up to now, the authorities will tell you that investigation will be carried out. Investigation, we are on it, we are on the tail of the murderers, we are on the tail of the kidnappers, we are on the tail of... But still, it's sad.
It is, it is. I'm just trying to look at, okay, all those measures that the state government have taken, and then there's this order from the federal government that troops, you know, have to be deployed there. Those particular states, particularly mostly that the state that is most hit, like Katsina and then Zamfara, and we now later hear we don't later hear anything concerning the bandits, the kidnapping around that place, because you remember at a particular point school have to be closed. And then, like I mentioned earlier, motor parks, weekly market, because of how they use those places to do that evil. Because like the market, that's when they go and they pick whatever they want from innocent people that just come to sell their goods.
And in the case of Zamfara, just like I have it here, because I had to bring it out for more discussion. In the case of Zamfara, why the markets were closed, just like you mentioned, it was like a point of the atrocities to be committed, is the point of the crime to be committed. Because, okay, according to the State Commissioner of Information and Culture, Tourism, Honorable Ibrahim Magaji Dorasa, he said that the state government has discovered that the bandits live in the forest, from where they attack communities depending on how lawless community members are, whom they pay to give them information on how to carry out their acts. And the commissioner explained that when the informant cites some business people who come from their legitimate endeavors, they will quickly alert the bandits, describing their dressing and giving more information, pointing out the bandits who will quickly storm the market and unleash terror attacks. You'll be wondering, this is a community of people. They have markets, you have roads, that's the motor parks, you have all these things put in place, which the government have tried. Then you know that, okay, bandits live in the forest. Then at the end of the day, you are the one giving information to the bandits to come and attack or kidnap foreigners or people that you feel have money. Just because of some stipends that these bandits are giving you. So you are an informant to a bandit and you're living in that community. You should be ashamed of yourself. How do you want that community to progress? Just because you are earning, then you are part of the bandit. You are also a kidnapper. You think, okay, just giving information is just, okay, you giving information at the end of the day. No, all these people's blood, all these people's life, you are the one that is damaging it at the end of the day, giving information. And that's why these markets were closed, so that it will at least curb the issue of the insecurity, the issue of people coming, the bandits coming to the market, you know, to carry out this act, kidnap the people that the information were given to them already based on their dressing, because you have to describe how the person is dressed, how is the person's skin color, how is the person ways, you know, when you get there, you just know, okay, this is the person that you carry out the act. So it's so sad, and that was why these markets were closed. And it was vowed that, okay, the market will reopen only when there are strategies put in place, and maybe there's a structure and the security challenge is being a bit tame. And we're happy that they've reopened 7 of these markets, yes, because it's a weekly market. And we said the other day, that at least with these weekly markets, the economy of that community can, you know, boost a bit. But it's just so funny that you can be in that community and you still be an informant to some people. And you know, we've always talked about these strategies of the bandit. You'll be wondering, how do they get information? What is really happening? Are people involved? Is it that the system is corrupt? This is it. You are in the community and you are giving information. Yes.
And you talked about, you know, people going to the market, some suspected to have maybe carrying a large amount of money, which they feel they can just come and then carry the money, or they feel these people are coming from a particular family, that when they are being kidnapped, a certain amount of money will come out. And then aside that, that's when they even get their food supply. Yes, it will surprise you. That's when they will just go, you are selling rice, they will just tell you, pack this for us, milk and other beverages. That's what they do. That's how they get their food supply. Aside the ones that they will tell you that you have to bring 5 bags of rice, you have to bring canopy. Like, seriously, you start wondering, in this era, 21st century, so you can move those things, you know, and then there's no track. And then the issue of a telecom shutdown. It really... How
helpful do you think that has been, especially in Kaduna, Zamfara, and Katsina? How helpful do you think that has been? Because these are the 3 states that I know confirmed that there is the telecom shutdown in the states. And we still hear of crimes being committed, especially in Kaduna, where on Sunday, at the Baptist Church in Chukwu local government, about 100 people were kidnapped and 2 killed. And the kidnappers, or will I call them gunmen or non-gunmen now, or what? They came into the church, kidnapped these people and left. And for you to kidnap 100 people, 100 worshippers in a church is a strategy. You must have planned. You must have surveyed the weak points. You must have been familiar with how service is being conducted there, how people come into the church, how people leave, where is the entrance and where is maybe the back door, or where is the bigger gates for where cars are parked. So many of these things. There must be a weak point that was surveyed and taken into cognizance, and 100 of these people were kidnapped. What was the process of even taking them to, I don't know if they came with cars or trucks or whatsoever, you know, were there passerbys? What really happened? You'll be wondering, you know, at the end of the day, 100 of these people, then what's happening to the security of that state? Well, the question is, how effective do we think the telecom shutdown has been in Kaduna State?
Yeah, and yes, that's a vital question, Joyce. And then you just asked what millions of Nigerians are asking out there. If you talked about bringing a policy that you feel it will curb certain things, or it will help in combating this menace that is facing us face to face. You start asking, okay, with the shutdown, the example you just cited, the issue of Kaduna, carrying 100 worshippers. This question Nigerians have been asking, people around the world have been asking, since from the time of the Chibok girls.
Yes.
To the Zamfara school adoption, to Kaduna Baptist, name them. They are just there. You start asking, how do these people move with such kind of a crowd? And then you start imagining, is it that is a different country they are moving, and here we talk about the issue of rapid response when things are happening. So you can tell me that after that, there wasn't communication that this is what is happening, or this thing just happened, and then you trace the route and see where these people are going. 100 people will just move and disappear just like that. This is the question that people are asking. So the reason why we are bringing this is because the government have set aside these issues, thinking and hoping that will bring an end to this issue of insecurity that we are facing. But it tends to be like it's a strategy of the enemy. While they divert the attention of the security agents to one particular location, then they spread to another location. Now we are talking about, Joyce, we are talking about Zamfara, Sokoto. That is the northwest. The east now, northeast is a kind of a calm, but I'm assuring you. And then the north central, the north central was hit with the issue of unknown gunmen, the herdsmen, which Plateau had her own share. Yes. Benue still, that catchment area. And I'm telling you, Joyce, that this issue of kidnap, silent killing is still going on, unreported. True. You can only hear that when you have a contact, maybe with someone someone that knows someone that thing happened to him. That's how you get to know. But aside that, these things are happening like daily. Just imagine now, we talk about the North Central. Now is gradually moving to Abuja. Now Abuja is on red alert.
And Sambo, there was a time ago where the federal government came out to say that media should stop reporting the insecurity issues in Nigeria, how they report them. Like they try to exaggerate it. Even the Plateau State governor came out to say the same thing, that the insecurity challenges in Plateau State is being exaggerated in the media. Yes, and you'll be wondering, is it that these things are not happening, or the media just feel they should just, for what benefit at the end of the day? And you just mentioned something very important, that there are some of these challenges, there are some of these insecurity problems that are not even being reported. Some of these things that we mentioned, some of them didn't come up in the dailies. They didn't come up in the papers. They were not discussed in the media. We try to bring them out, not to attack the government or the authorities or the agencies that are in charge of all this, or the paramilitary, but no, to create awareness on what is really happening in our dearly beloved country, Nigeria, because we want to see an end to this. Gone are the days where people feel safe in their country. Gone are the days where you can just wake up and decide, okay, you want to travel. But nowadays, you have to plan, and in your plan, you have to pray. Sometimes you even have to fast for a period, committing that journey into God's hand. I'm not saying for you to even travel from one point to another is a testimony now. People do that in church. You see, I traveled to Makurdi, thank God I am back, nothing happened to me. It's good to testify to God, but it has become a norm now that before you even travel from one point to the other, you are scared, your heart is beating in your chest. Like, you don't even want to even travel at the end of the day. So it's not like it's an attack to the government, no, just like I said, or authority or agency, but it's creating awareness. When more people come out to say, okay, my brother was kidnapped, okay, this really happened, that happened, we will know that this is the state of the country. The other time, the UJ problem that we had, it was reported few number of students affected and all, but we had, even Equa Television, we had number of missing people that was reported, and there was a time that we were putting it up on air. Up to now, the parents can't even find them. Nobody is saying anything. There is no investigation going up on those people, and it has been how many months now? You know, you report, there is a period you report a missing person, and there's a period you just conclude that the person is dead. Because if you don't hear anything at the end of the day, you just conclude. And these are children of people, of humans. They are also humans. Imagine the fear that when you are being kidnapped, the fear that you pass through, you know, the trauma. And it's by God's grace that you leave that den and you come out to be back in the society, the trauma you pass through. Then the unlucky ones that die in the process. What is really happening? This is my country, and I don't feel safe in my country. Then I have to ask questions. I have to ask the strategies that are being employed. Yes, we talked about the closure of markets, but it still happened as the insecurity was still ongoing. They're not selling petrol in jerrycans because that's how they have access. That's how the bandits, you know, have access to petrol, and they carry out their bikes. Yes. Was it helpful? Then the telecom that is now trending in most of these states. How helpful is it? This happened. This Baptist church kidnap just happened on Sunday. 100 people. What is really happening? Then is it the Abuja adoption now? No, not. In Abuja, where that's on Tuesday, the University of Abuja staff quarters, you know, was invaded. According to the ASO chairman, University of Abuja, Dr. Kasim Umaru, Professor Basi Udom's son and daughter were kidnapped. Professor Bansai's son kidnapped. Dr. Tobit from engineering and Sambo Mohammed from registry. 6 of these people kidnapped. And if you check the video, you will know that it was a strategy. There must be survey, planning, every other thing that we mentioned. And in the homes of these individuals, the people that I just mentioned, you see that there was a bit of struggle because the houses were a bit scattered. You see like the ceiling broken and all. It wasn't like a 5-minute operation. No. It was well planned. And according to reports, that 50 of the gunmen invaded the quarters. 50 of them. How can they? Heavily armed. Heavily armed. And there was sporadic shootings. You know, that was when it was reported. And then lecturers started sending out messages to each other. You know, that this is what's happening, this is what's happening. And it must interest you that this staff quarters is located just 20 minutes from the international airport in Abuja. So what is really happening? What is happening? And these kidnappers, according to reports also, they took base behind the staff quarters. That's there is a school behind the staff quarters. That's where they took base before even carrying out the attack. So you see, there was planning, there was survey, and there was a survey of weak points to know, okay, how is the entrance to that quarters? How is the exit? The security architecture of, of the how quarters. Many security personnel are placed, maybe by the gate or inside. Okay, what do they check before entering? What do you register at the gate? Okay, maybe they didn't go through the gate, you know, because according to report too, that it's not generally fenced. It's not all fenced. So maybe there's a shortcut from the back. They follow there. No security position there. Okay, even if it is just maybe one security, because just like we said the other time, priority, there are times that you just put one security to be in charge of a gate, thinking, nothing will happen. This is a university area, nothing will happen. They will empower 50 of them. They will empower him, and his life will be lost at the end of the day. So we have to be strategic in most of the things we do. We should not just deny the fact or not accept the fact that, no, we are not going through all these things. we're not going through security challenges, because I feel that's what most people in power are trying to do. Let me just deny the fact that this is not happening, then concentrate on something else, then maybe it will go away. No, it will not. It's a strategy. You mentioned that back then it was when reports of insecurity is in the news, or you hear of it, you think of the north, west, northeast. It's just back there, Zamfara, Sokoto, but now it's moving this way. Then you'll be wondering, you'll be wondering, okay, what is really happening? You don't have to wonder like that. It is a point from point A to point B. It's like a map where you have to take over this place, or you have to attack these places to move to point B. Then where you see that you're achieving this, then you put more people on ground, then you advance, get more people. We heard of recruitment the other time. Get more people, advance to point C. Before you know, if you feel, okay, point C now, a junior person can take over it, you go to point. We are talking of Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and this happened.
Joyce, you talked about the security architecture, what they are doing. We are not blaming a government per se, but this is our country that the masses are complaining. Masses are wondering, with all of these things, with the money being spent when it comes to issue of security in this country, buying equipment, that had to do with the military, the police, name them. Just for recent, we took a delivery of this Tokono fighter jet from United States. So and it's a lot of money being spent on those machines. You can say that. But when you see that we are buying this for us to see result, we cannot totally say, just like the way you said, we are not totally blaming the government, but we are just being concerned.
We are not even blaming the government at all.
People can just perceive something different and they will just paint it like this is the area we are going. Yes. But we are just concerned citizens that we feel, yes, this is our country. Like the normal say, we will die here. It's our country. If we don't make our country to be better for us and for our children and for our children's children, then we have lost it. And then we have that name that we tag to ourselves, the giants of Africa. Then we should step up. You see, what I'm trying to say, when you try a particular thing for a long time and it's not working, you change strategy.
If you keep trying, it is madness.
That's the point. You talked about how those people move from one point and the other, and then their operation is swift. Like they don't leave a trace. And you start wondering, is it that they are more intelligent than our own security agencies, or what? You begin to ask. And then the issue of shutting down telecom services in this state that we mentioned, we will not say totally it's a waste, because there was a result. We saw how results were coming. There are some people that were apprehended, particularly those that even supply them with fuel, and some that supply them with information. So there's a way that it helped in cutting down even their communication. So and then these people that are being apprehended, you hear the issue of investigation, like we saw in the issue of Katsina, when people are caught using polythene to stock fuel. This time around, not buying it in jerry cans again. They buy 5 liter here, 5 liter here, 5 liter here, and they turn it.
And those were women with this.
You get it. You start wondering, when situations like this is happening, you find that the women cry the more, because they take much of the burden, because it's either your husband is being killed or your child is being kidnapped. So the trauma is more on women. But now you see even these women involved. So you cannot totally say in a community we are all good. Remember in one of our shows we talked about morals. Is it that we are losing it entirely? How can somebody in a community and is aiding someone to inflict a pain in a community and even a nation? Because this thing is a national thing, is a national concern. And look at the money that the federal government is spending concerning tackling this insecurity in this country. The soldiers are doing well. The shutting down have helped the soldiers to really deal with these guys very well. At a point, you know, they have to warn even the social media guys, you know, to stop posting certain things.
Yes.
Because even the security agencies, sometimes you blame them because some of the videos are coming from them because they use their phone and then they send it to relatives like, we are winning the war. And before you know it, somebody will just say, okay, let me send it to my friend too. A friend too will send it to a friend.
Things like this go viral.
Go viral. So at a point, they have to control that. And we see the military personnel, the security agencies really doing well. And we commend it. And we are always praying for them, those that are out there, really making sure that our country remain one, and then everything is back to normal. And then what we are saying, for those people that have been apprehended, you know, and they are being investigated, we want to hear more information. We want to see more arrests, you know, because they can't just do that alone. So that is what we are saying. We know that has helped alone because you remember they just opened 7 markets in Zamfara, which you will say it is a way forward. And we are hoping to see more markets being open, business come back to normal, the issue of shutdown, let life be normal. So really we are seeing a headway when it comes to that. But the issue now and the concern is the spread. Now, the West is being quiet. You know, you remember when some expert analysts are saying this thing is moving gradually to Abuja. And then some, because of their office, they speak against it. They said, no, everything is calm. But today, in paper, we are hearing red alert in Abuja. Then how comes? Is it that when people are saying certain things, some of our leaders don't take it into cognizance? And then can't we be proactive
That's what
in
I was
our approach?
About. It's as if there are people that know what is happening in Nigeria, but they want to deny the fact so that it will just go away. You know, it's said that when you ignore something, it will just go. No. When you ignore something that is not active, it will go away. But this is active. It's a strategy. These people do not just come up to say, okay, do you know what, let's do this, let's kidnap 1, 2, 3, then give up, then repent. You know, at least we've made the money, then that's it. No. It's more of a combined effort, a joint effort, that you as a leader, when you refuse, you don't even want to go up again with it, you'll be killed for someone to come up. We've heard of that, where another person will, you know, create a coup, let me use that, kill you, the leader, then he will take charge of the group, of the sect. So it's a movement. There is a strategy attached, and there is an aim at the end of the day. Kidnappings might be one of the ways of making money to source and fund the movement. Again. To source and fund the movement. You know, because they require huge amounts of money. Have you seen their ammunitions? We've seen videos of that, where there were deliveries, where we've seen pictures of people going to the bushes, to the forest to meet with them. And we see pictures because they hold their ammunitions. We've seen that, you know. Then after the funding, what next? They go back. You don't hear that, okay, that's the end of it. And they were just hungry kidnappers and that happened. No. It was back then that you hear that armed robbers attacked a bank, they stole amounts of money, and that would be...
Now it's the old fashion.
It's more like, okay, these people are jokers. You know, this is the main thing. And it's as if everybody wants to do it as a business because they feel you can do it, at the end of the day, repent. Be a repentant something, and you'll you go to rehabilitation and back into the society. Or they see it as, okay, you will never be caught, you know, at the end of the day. It's a movement. Sometimes when things happen, the authorities will come up with good strategies. Okay, you hear planes flying around, security will be everywhere, there will be maybe curfew, there will be so many of these things. Then maybe a week or 2, then everything will relax. And sometimes I wonder, I just sit, I wonder, okay, these people, do they think these people, these criminals now, after doing this, and they are seeing all these things happening, maybe they are scared. Let's relax, then we should not do it again. No. When they do it, they go back, re-strategize, buy time in the next operation, and they already know what next when things are done. They know what next will happen, what the government will do next, and they already expect it. That, okay, maybe there will be security checkpoints here, there will be this here, there will be that here, and there will be maybe closure of some places, and there will be lockdown. They already plan ahead, they are step ahead. When they go back, they sit down, maybe order for their whatever it is they want, order for the food already that is expected. In short, you are the one that will even take the food to them. We've seen of the Bethel High, where they requested for palm oil, rice, and all. You think it's just for jokes? No. It's for them to re-strategize. They are in the bush. They need all these things. Yes. They feed on it. The next attack, they're already planning it. But what about us? We are not planning, okay, what if there is an attack next time? What will happen? No, we just brought solution of this thing that happened. We brought solution of the checkpoint. Then at the end of the day, we relax it. Then maybe lift the curfew. Then maybe life should go back to normal. We should be step ahead. It's a country. This is a country, not a gathering. We have big budget in the defense. You know, we have so many of these group paramilitary. Yes, I know that. If you check really well too, just like we've been mentioning, the system is corrupt. There is a lack of funding. And even if you are the one, you won't want to lose your life, even as a police officer. Yes, you've said this is what you want to do. But when you see that corruption is eating deep, you yourself, you'll be reluctant. There are times that you will see, maybe you report a case, you know, and nothing is being done about it because they look at their lives first. Okay, these people are like 50 and I'm just one, or with 4 of my colleagues. When I call for backup, it's just 2 that will be added to me. How will I overpower these people? You know, they should just, anything, you should just deal with it. And that's why governors were coming out one time to say citizens should protect themselves, as if there is gun regulation in Nigeria, as if you can have access to that, like it's made available, or as if there are courses in our universities or tertiary institutions where self-defense is being taught, you know. There is nothing like karate. There is nothing like self-defense if this is happening to you. Because if you look at it, attack is being done in school mostly. So do we have a course where you learn these things? Is the case of rape in Nigeria, where ladies are being taught, okay, if you have an encounter with a rapist, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is how you can harm him so that he can go ahead with the evil act. Intention. But you're not teaching us anything, you're not telling us anything, there are no development in that way. And you are saying we should protect ourselves. Are we protecting ourselves with stones or cutlasses? Sticks and someone is carrying AK-47? How will you protect it before you even throw one stone?
It's so pathetic, you know, the situation. But there's light. There's a light, definitely, you know, after the tunnel, and we're just hopeful that these things that we are saying, the relevant authorities will really look into it and then do the needful. What we are saying, yeah, we know we have a very brilliant. And then when you talk about brain, when you talk about manpower, we have it. Nigeria can boast of anything because this we don't without apology, because we see our people, you know, thriving outside this country. They are doing well. Is it science? Is it name that business? Just name it. We have the DSS, we have the NIA, we have the military, the Navy. Our security architecture is really tight. But we're saying these people should not just be playing with your intelligence. You should come out and strategize. You know, be proactive. It's not that when something happened, that's when, like the issue of Abuja, you know, these people are attacking again. You know, it doesn't tell well to our federal capital territory. That means already you are telling the world that already we are vulnerable.
Sambo, if there was a time that it was reported that even the Aso Rock was invaded. If that can be, then where is really safe? I'm not trying to portray Nigeria as maybe everywhere is unsafe or there is danger anywhere. No. But it's more of, will I say, carelessness or not thinking further. What is our priority? Is our priority more on borrowings to fund something that is of less importance? No. If you as a leader, you don't have anybody to rule, you are not a leader. Who are you ruling? Nobody. Because, okay, at the end of the day, if all these people are dead, what are you doing? Who are you ruling? Who are you leading? No, you have to secure their lives, their properties. Let them be safe, have security in their homes. Then they will trust you. They will believe you. They will know that, yes, they have a leader they can cry to. They have a leader they can relate to. They have a leader that is accessible to hear their plea, their cry. Because, okay, often there are things that will happen that you'll be like, okay, does this person even know that this is happening? Do we know the plight of a common man on the streets, of that market woman, what she's struggling with? Everything is now expensive. Look at it. Is it a gas hike, electricity? Is it firewood, or is it kerosene, or is it diesel? Like so many of these things. Then the challenge of security. Again, if you're not secure, there is nothing that will work. Be it education, be it economy, be it any other sector of the country. It will not work. We have to re-strategize. We have to think, okay, what is really happening? Who are these people? Why do we have different categories of these people? Unknown gunmen, bandits, whatsoever. The railway network in Abuja, just the other day, what happened to it? It was attacked. It was like a pride to Nigeria. We have railway that connect Abuja to Kaduna. And at the end of the day, is it that we are going backward, or is it that the target is more on infrastructure and education? You know, if you look at it very well, you know that it's on the economy, on the progress of the economy. It's like there should be, the economy should be at a standstill. Nothing will happen. Take all the money through ransom so that people can struggle or people can... I really don't know what is really happening. But we really need to be not one step, 100 steps ahead, and the paramilitary needs to be well funded for them to have all required equipment, ammunition to take over, because it is a battle. Sometimes there are times that out of discussion or experience or whatsoever, where you get to sit with people, you ask them, so what is really happening? How do you go through? When they tell you the stories of what they see and what they battle with in the forest, you'll be amazed. You will be so amazed that, okay, this thing is more of a spirit that we have to come together to fight it. Just like we've often said on the set, Boko Haram insecurity is not a person that you'll be like, okay, when you kill this person and that will be it. No, it's more of a spirit that you have to uproot it from the roots, from the source.
Ideology is a movement.
It's a movement.
That you have to kill it from
that when
source.
You stop believing, you as a leader, when you stop believing it, there's somebody that is a fanatic, that is a die-hard that will continue.
You just spoke about
movement.
Taking over, because once they notice like you are beginning to slow down, they begin to feel it's like you're beginning to change your mindset concerning the movement, and then someone take over. That's why you hear the issue of parallel leaders, you know, this one claiming this one claiming that. And
Sambo, don't forget that even on the plateau, we've had the issues. It's just that, just like we mentioned, it's just that these things, because we are so concerned with sufferings and the hikes and other challenges, spotlight is not given to the insecurity, especially in some other cities. But even on the plateau, it will amaze you that there are points, there are forests that these kidnappers stay. That in this city of Jos Plateau State, you will hear of kidnaps, you will hear of stories taken to the bush, and you will hear of a very close place to a town where these things are done. I'd be wondering, is it that people don't know? Then how did you get to know if
you said something that where this kidnap happened, that's the quarters of University of Abuja. It just
20 minutes away from the
international airport. Just 4 days ago, and an abduction was made. You know, somebody was kidnapped. Just let's say 20-minute drive to the airport. The person was kidnapped. I need to hear his ideal. He struggled with these people. This thing is in Plateau. Nigeria, not far. And then he was telling us, you know, they secure his release with some amount of money, which you don't want to hear. But we thank God. You know, there he saw so many things. There's a place that they carve that if they don't understand the conversation or along the line conversation cut off, there's no agreement, they will just send you. They don't care. They will just push you, and that's all. And then they create caves in such a way that you will enter lying down with your head inside. You can't come out until they drag you. That's you see another strategy. How do they take their time to do all of these things? That's when they keep people. Like several of the caves, I'm telling you, that's when they keep people. And then you find people guiding them. And then ask me how old? 16, 17. Not up to 20 people. 20 years. Yes. And then you see these people coming and then discussing, negotiating. And when the ransom was paid, you know, that 17-year-old boy that guided the person, like, was telling him, don't follow here. If you follow here, there are people that they won't even ask you, because once they see you, they will assume you are escaping. They will just kill you without asking. There are terrible people here. They are our people. They are being mounted and being strategized to do just that, that they should not ask questions. You can imagine. And then the person, for that one man, he has been kind because he gave him 1,000. He said, okay, now you can follow here. If it links you to the road, fine. You can use this and then take a whatever. He trekked for 3 hours in the bush. And these people stay there. They eat there. They communicate there. He even saw when they killed someone, a clergyman, hung his uniform, regalia, simply because the communication worked. They slaughtered him. And then you see these people with pistol, AK-47, you know, small boy handling, like 17-year-old, handling 2 AK-47 and 2 pistols. And then they are 4 guiding the place. And in our own forest, we're not far from, you ask this question. It's terrible. It is terrible.
We cannot stop talking about insecurity in Nigeria. It's so wide that when we start talking about it, it will take the whole of the month or the year to talk. But I believe that by tomorrow we should, you know, talk more on it and see its effect even in our economy, education, and other sector of the country, other aspects of the country. And we are lending our voices out there that people should talk. People should come out to say, okay, this is what is happening too. And they are not having it easy. You know, we want a better Nigeria. We want a better country where everything will flow, where our economy shall, you know, rise. We can stand as giants of Africa too. And our heart also goes out to people, the military, that have lost their lives in the line of battle. You've done your deed, you've done your best, and at the end of the day, you've lost even your family. We just want to send our love to them, and we sympathize with them that for losing loved ones, be it people on the front line, that's the military, or be it people that were adopted or kidnapped along the way. God be with you in everything that we do.
Thank you, Joyce, for doing this with me today. And then for our viewers there, we say thank you for staying with us. And then do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Please stay safe. Thank you, and bye-bye.